do what she wants.
Women have a right to choose, but not to murder children, not to murder their own child. We have a right to choose different things.
God says that, right?
Common sense says that. We all know it's wrong to murder people. But it's just when the child's in the womb, unable to defend himself, it's okay to butcher him.
No one gives a shit about what you said.
Well, you don't, but maybe other people do. You know it's murder. You're justifying murder. You're dehumanizing the preborn.
Do you think a fetus is a person?
I don't think so. I know so. It's common sense and logic.
What if the fetus doesn't have a brain, doesn't have a consciousness, doesn't have anything?
There are born people that don't have some of that stuff. Do we murder them?
If it doesn't have a brain, it can't feel pain. It has no thoughts.
There are people outside the womb who can't feel pain. Who can't think too well. Should we murder them?
So, do you really think that a single cell is a human being?
It's a human being, a person at the moment of fertilization.
So you really think a microscopic cell that you can't even see has exactly the same moral worth as an adult human being?
The same moral worth in God's eyes. Doesn't matter the size of the child, of the human being. It does not matter.
So do you have an argument that would convince someone who doesn't accept the religious justification?
I can base it on. I don't even have to bring up the Bible to it's common sense and logic. When a woman becomes pregnant, she's carrying a child. She's not carrying something.
I don't think it's common sense that a microscopic cell that I can't even see is a human being.
Well, what I mean is it's common sense that when a woman becomes pregnant, she's pregnant with a child.
Well, okay,
Everybody
but you're not saying where that line is crossed.
At fertilization. Before fertilization, it's not there's no human life there. At fertilization, a human being has come into existence.
That's not. I don't think that's a common sense position. I think that's a religious.
No, it's not, because when a woman becomes pregnant, we know that she's saying that she's carrying a child now. We know that. People know that.
Well, not all women consent. You're saying that you shouldn't even be able to have an abortion even if a woman's been raped.
Yeah,
so she didn't make that decision.
Because fertilization, conception, doesn't matter the situation that the child is fertilized. It doesn't matter. It's a human being at the moment of fertilization, whatever situation.
What makes it a human being?
What?
What makes it a human being? What about it makes it a human being?
The fact that we reproduce after our own kind. We're people. We're human beings. We reproduce other human beings.
Well, what makes a fetus a human being? What's your definition of a human being?
A person who comes into being at the moment of fertilization. That's a human being. It's not a cat. It's not a dog. It's not an octopus. It's a human being. Just like cats reproduce cats, dogs reproduce dogs, and women, mothers, people reproduce people. It's honestly common sense and logic. I knew that before I was a Christian. I know I was not dumb enough to think, it's a box inside of her body. It's anything but a human being.
So what would you do with children that are unwanted by their mothers?
We love them. We care for them.
But I assume you're a Republican. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But Republicans are generally against social support, social programs. And so you want to keep these children alive. You want to have them be born. But then you want to take away...
They're already alive. If they've been fertilized, they're already alive at the moment of fertilization.
Yeah, so you want them to be born, but then you want to take away all the government benefits, any kind of public support that would help these children have a good life.
No, who's saying that?
What?
Who's saying that?
Republicans.
There's a lot of things I don't agree with Republicans on.
Are you a Democrat then?
No, I'm not a Democrat.
Statistically, 99% of people who would hold a poster like this are Republicans.
I just don't like the party itself, because not many, but that's beside the point. We have dehumanized the preborn, and now people think it's okay to murder them. But it's kind of,
extensive social support for mothers that have children they can't take care of.
Well, you mean like government support?
Well, who else is going to support them?
God's people who actually care.
No, that doesn't happen in practice.
Well, it should a lot more. Yeah, I agree. It should happen a lot more. God's people, Christians, should be there a lot more than they are. And that's, if I have a family eventually, I would like to adopt children. Maybe many children. And children conceived who are being murdered through IVF, through birth control, who aren't murdered, I'd like to adopt them and care for them. Maybe adopt children from other countries. And people can, I'm not saying they're doing this, but people can judge us out here all they want, saying, well, you're not going to adopt any children, so you don't have a voice or whatever, to justify murder. And it's like, well, maybe try asking us that first. And it's like, both of us want to adopt children. And I just don't think it'd be right for me to adopt a child right now when I'm not even married.
Sure, I don't look at it in an individual way. I think that's kind of silly, like saying, if you're concerned about global warming, you shouldn't fly on a plane or something like that. I see it as a social problem, where you're saying you want a certain social policy, like getting rid of abortion, but then you don't want to have corrective social policies like social support, welfare programs, programs that take care of poor people that don't have.
I don't believe in welfare.
What?
We don't need government programs that support giving people stuff or food without them working. And I'm not saying that there aren't people who cannot work physically, but in our country we made people lazy by I don't have to work. I can just suck off the government and get food. That's
it's
evil.
Not just about work. I mean, merely working doesn't give you a very good life in this country. You need to have education.
It's a better life than most countries.
You need to have education. You need to make a lot of investments in the child.
I mean, not through the school system. I mean, you can educate yourself at home.
To have a good life.
What?
To have a good life, a decent life, you need to have education. You need to invest a lot of resources into a child in order for that child to have a good outcome.
Yeah.
Just bringing a child into the world unprepared does not give that child a good outcome.
But does murdering them give them a good outcome?
When the so-called child is not even conscious, doesn't have a brain, you can't even say that's really a person in any meaningful sense. Yeah, I think that's the merciful thing to do. And it's not just the child, by the way, it's the woman too. Because you have a lot of women who, make a mistake, they have a baby now, their entire career goes down the drain. They might make a lot less money than they would otherwise. So it's not just impoverishing these children, it's impoverishing the mothers. So
should she be allowed to murder her child on the day after the child's born?
Well, I think the disagreement here is that, I don't see it as murder necessarily. I think that's a debate. But